What's up, guys? Little Stocks Bro here, giving you the 10 stocks that you guys can choose from for the $1,000 viewers account. It was 20. I lowered it to 10 because I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too many different options. So I just picked my 10 favorite stocks for you guys. I try and diversify them as much as I can, from a range of $30 stocks to $100 stocks, different types of companies, from retail to recovery to tech, all of that in between. So let's jump into that. But before we jump into that, I didn't do a Friday update. So real quick Friday update on the account. We're down 500. It's basically a nothing day. We're sitting at 23 grand. It's basically the same thing that happened Thursday. You know, we went down a little bit and then we went sideways. So not too much happening there. And then in terms of what I bought, I just bought 4 contracts on Xpeng that expire in July. Now this is not an investment. This is more of a trade because I do plan on selling these next week. I'm just trying to build up my cash a little bit because I'm running low on cash. But that's that. Now let's jump into the 10 stocks for you guys, starting with stock number 1. So coming in at stock number 1, we have Walmart. Walmart sitting at $140.58 per share. Now remember, guys, a share, which is what you guys will be buying, is nothing more than a small piece of a company. Okay, what they do is they take Walmart, they divide it up into a whole bunch of different small little pieces, and they sell you those pieces. So as the company as a whole grows, your small little slither of the company also grows. That's all there is to it, okay? So you might be thinking, well, does that mean that if the individual share, if the individual piece of the company is really expensive, it means the company is really expensive? I mean, the company is really good and really valuable company? No, not necessarily. Think of it as there's a pie. And if you cut the pie into 4 pieces, each piece is worth $25, right? If the whole pie is worth 100, you cut it into 4, each piece is worth 25. But that same pie, if you cut it into 10 pieces, each piece is not only worth $10, but it's still a $100 pie. Okay, so don't get confused and think that just because one of these companies has high share price and the other one doesn't, means that the one with the high share price is more valuable than the one that with the lower share price. That's not the case, all right? It's just the way it works between how many shares are available to the public, all right? So that's that. And then number 2, I actually want to mention that this list is in no particular order. Well, it's in one particular order, and that is from the most expensive shares to the least expensive shares, all right? So just because Walmart's number 1 doesn't mean it's the best company by any means, but it is a really good company. So let's check that out. I provide 4 pieces of data for you guys. Number 1, we have the performance in the past 2 weeks. It's supposed to be just 1 week, but I did make this slideshow about 2 weeks ago. Didn't get to film it. So now you guys have more data, which is always a good thing, more data for you guys. You have the performance of 2 weeks ago, and you have its performance in the past week. Number 2, you have the performance in the past year. So you have short-term performance at number 1, long-term performance at number 2. Number 3, you have the value of the company. This is what Wall Street values the company at. A lot of times, like I mentioned in my previous videos, Wall Street gets it wrong and undervalues good companies. And that's when you want to jump in and take advantage. Number 4, you have the revenue of the company, 2020 revenue to be exact. Now, there is a difference, and I have to point this out, between revenue and profits, in case you guys didn't know. Revenue is the total amount of money the company brings in. Profits is how much of that money it gets to keep after expenses. So it's very important to differentiate those two. It's only 4 pieces of data, a very small amount of data, nowhere near enough data for you guys to make a really clear judgment when choosing a stocks on your own. But for this experiment that we're doing, I want to keep it simple. I want to keep it nice and easy. I want this to be an informative process as well as a fun process. I don't want you guys to feel like you're doing homework. So just these little 4 pieces of data for you guys to go off of, and that'll be that. So I'm going to breeze through the next 9. Won't spend a whole 3 minutes breaking down each company. You guys have the information there. I'm going to read through the information. I'm going to give you the 9 stocks, the 9 other stocks, and that'll be the video, all right? So when it comes to Walmart, again, the share price, $140.58. It's short-term performance in the past 2 weeks. The second week, it was up 2.05%, and last week it was up 0.34%. So back-to-back green weeks for Walmart. That's awesome for Walmart. Its performance in the past year, up 15%, which is pretty dope. A value of $394 billion. And revenue, 2020 revenues came in at $524 billion. Now, quick fun fact, Walmart, I believe, is the largest revenue company in the United States. So I don't think any other company gets anywhere near $500 billion in revenue. But I mean, you guys know, it's Walmart. You guys probably shop there, right? I mean, Yeah, everybody shops at Walmart. So yeah, that's Walmart for you guys. If you guys like Walmart, that's one to keep on your radar. Number 2, we have Nike. A lot of you guys know Nike. A lot of you guys own Nike. I know I own my Nike. Nike comes in at $134.10 per share. It's short-term performance. 2 weeks ago, up 1.5%. Last week, a little bit in the red, 0.4%. Past year, up 57%. That is huge for a company. Very, very huge. But I have to tell you guys, remember, this is coming off April of 2020. And April of 2020, everything was low. Everything was super, super low. So it's an anomaly for you guys to see companies, big companies like this, shoot up 50% in a year. It's not realistic. It's basically off of the 2020 lows. So keep that in mind. Value. When it comes to value, they value Nike at $219 billion. Again, these are big boys that we're talking about right here. And 2020 revenues came in around $37.4 billion. All right, that's Nike. If you guys like Nike, you already know. Number 3, Apple. This is a fan favorite. I had to include it, of course. Share price, $134.11. Its performance in the past week. Apple 2 weeks ago had an amazing week, up 7.41%. And last week, it was able to climb on top of that, 1.16%. So a double green week for Apple. Apple's a beautiful company, one of the biggest company. It's the biggest company in the world. Its performance over the past year up 98%. It just keeps getting crazier and crazier, guys. Yes, but Wall Street loves Apple. Everybody loves Apple. All right. Value $2.16 trillion. $2.16 trillion. That's so much money. It's ridiculous. And 2020 revenues came in at $274 billion. So look, even though Apple is a more valuable company than Walmart, its 2020 revenues came in at just over half of what Walmart's revenue came in at. So yeah. Number 4, Starbucks. A lot of you guys love Starbucks. I mean, I'm including big companies that you guys know and probably love, hopefully love, so you guys can get excited buying these stocks. I don't want to include stocks that nobody's ever heard of. So number 4, Starbucks. Share price $118.39. Another stock with a double green week. 2 weeks ago it was up 2.89%. Last week it did even better than that, up 4.68%. And respectively, that's $3 and $5. So it's up $8 per share, which means if 2 weeks ago you guys would have bought Starbucks, right now you'd be, one share of Starbucks, right now you'd be $8 richer. All right, that's what that means. Past year, up 53%, which is huge. But again, coming off the 2020 lows, it has a value of $133 billion, which is huge, big company. And 2020 revenues came in at just under $20 billion. At number 5, halfway point, we have JD.com. Now, a lot of you guys don't know about JD.com. However, the reason I included it is because JD and Alibaba are competitors, okay? I'm not going to include Alibaba. I'm not going to include XPeng on the list because those are the ones that I'm in, and I don't want to influence you guys that way. However, if you guys want to choose companies similar to the ones I'm using, JD is very similar to Alibaba, and in the next 5, I have a company that's similar to XPeng. So JD.com, it's an e-commerce company, competes against Alibaba, Chinese-based company. Here we go. Share price, $77.17. JD.com in the past 2 weeks has not been doing very good, guys. Down 5.5% 2 weeks ago and added another negative 2.81% in the past week. Total down 8% in just 2 weeks, which is pretty huge. Now, I don't want you guys to get discouraged, however. I don't want you guys to get discouraged. If you see a company with 2 red weeks back to back, don't think like, oh, there's no way I'm putting my money there. Remember, guys, the whole point of the stock market is to invest in companies that are good companies, but in companies that are undervalued. If you can get a good company that's undervalued, that's the whole point of the game, all right? Now, just because JD.com went down 8% in the past 2 weeks, does that mean it's undervalued? Not necessarily, all right? But again, I can't dive too deep into every single stock, or else this video will be 20,000 minutes long and it'll be way too complicated for you guys. But I just want to stress that just because a stock is red doesn't mean that you should automatically dismiss it. Not at all. So in the past year, however, JD is up 91%. So there you go. It has a value of $131 billion, similar to Starbucks, and the revenues came in at $114 billion. So that's JD for you guys. Now we are at the final 5. Number 6, we have Twitter. All of you know Twitter, right? All you guys have Twitter. My Twitter's down below if you guys want to follow me on there. $70.12 is the price of each share of Twitter. 2 weeks ago, Twitter had an amazing week, up 10% in a single week. Nice. And it gave some of that back, just a little bit of that back last week. Over the past year, Twitter's up 157%. That is crazy. That is a lot. People really started to take note of Twitter. I think what happened is people were expecting Twitter to fall after Donald Trump left. That didn't happen at all. That didn't happen at all. After they banned Donald Trump, Twitter just kept on going, and that really exemplified, or that really, what's the word I'm looking for? It really it was a revelation to the entire market of exactly how powerful Twitter is. It didn't need Donald Trump. It still brought in the revenue, and of course, Twitter's a great company. It's a great platform. But it has a value of $53.4 billion, and 2020 revenues came in at $3.7 billion. All right. Number 7, Delta. In case you guys want to mess with some recovery, I included Delta here for you. A share price of $46.61. Double red weeks for Delta as well. 2 weeks ago, it was down 0.8. Last week, it got really beat up, down almost 5%. However, over the past year, it is up almost 100%, which means if you guys would have bought Delta a year ago, you would have almost doubled your money at this point, all right? You would have almost doubled your money. You would have bought $1,000 worth of Delta. Right now, you'd be $1,000 richer. That's what it means. The value, they value Delta at $32.6 billion, and 2020 revenues for Delta came in at $17.1 billion. Number 8, we have NIO. Now, this is the one I was talking about that was similar to XPeng. This is another Chinese electric vehicle company. It is the actual main player. XPeng is not the main EV player in China. NIO is. NIO is a luxury vehicle. You can see its car right there. It's actually a really beautiful car. Damn. Really nice car. But it, just like XPeng, has been getting beat up this past week. Double red weeks for NIO, but its share price sits at $36.08. Oh man, terrible for NIO. 2 weeks ago, down 6%. Last week, down another 5%. It's just pain for EVs right now. But does that mean it's undervalued? Potentially. If you guys want to take a chance on that, you can. Take a look at the past year, though. Past year, NIO's up $973. That's almost a 10x. What does that mean? If 1 year ago you invested $1,000 into NIO, right now that $1,000 would be worth almost $10,000. Definitely a big boy. So it has a value right now of about $61 billion, and 2020 revenues came in at $16.3 billion. So the final two, we have Pfizer coming in at number 9, in case you guys want to mess around with some of the vaccine plays. Pfizer is one of them. Hopefully you guys got one of your shots. Maybe it was Pfizer. If you want to throw Pfizer a bone for providing you with that vaccine shot, I'm giving you guys the opportunity right now. Share price $38.58. Double green weeks for Pfizer. 2 weeks ago, it had a slightly green week at 0.4, but last week it had a defining green week at 5.5%. That's a huge move for such a small share price company. 5.5% move. So past year, up 7.4%, not too much, but still in the green. It has a value of $204 billion. Now I want you guys to notice all the companies that I'm choosing, guys. Very big companies with very high values, very high revenues, all right? I don't choose penny stocks. I don't choose stocks that nobody's ever heard of. I don't choose stocks that don't make money. I don't choose small companies that are just getting started and haven't proven themselves. We are poor. We have to go with the big companies that are already established that we know are going to make money in the future, okay? We just have to do it. Again, leave this small baby stocks to the millionaires who can afford to take that risk. We can't take that risk, okay? We have to go with the big boys. So 2020 revenues for Pfizer came in at $41.9 billion. And coming in at number 10, and this one is completely for the memes and the giggles, we have AMC. $9.36 is the share price. Double red weeks, down 5.9% 2 weeks ago, down 0.95% in the past week. However, in the past year, it is up 306%, and that's due to the big, huge run and all the euphoria that came when GameStop was blasting off. It took AMC up with it. AMC is still enjoying those highs, still up 306% over the past year. it has a value of 4.4 billion. And for this one, since AMC really got obliterated last year, I did include 2019 revenues so you guys can see the difference. 2020 revenues 1.2 billion. 2019 revenues, which is normal, 5.9 billion. So yeah, their revenues took a huge hit, which is why their share price took a huge hit. Now, I do have to give you guys a little bit of a warning here. This is the only stock that I'm going to recommend you guys don't buy. I'm going to give it to you guys. I'm going to give you guys the option. It's fun. If you guys want to have fun with it, you guys can have fun with it. Again, the $1,000 account is for you guys to use however you guys want. So it is there, but AMC right now, especially with all the volatility, all the hype, you know, it can go up 5% one week. It can go down literally 25% the next week. It can happen. It's very crazy right now. But that's what you guys want to do. I'll let you guys do what you want to do. So there you guys have it, guys. Those are the 10 stocks that you guys can choose from. A beautiful 10, except for AMC. AMC is still beautiful. We'll give AMC some love. Maybe we'll buy one share of AMC just for the giggle bears. All right. But those are the 10 stocks. The way you guys choose it, just either comment below or I'll leave my email if you want to remain anonymous. And just tell me, hey, this one. You just have to give me the name of the company and I'll buy it for you guys. All right. If you guys want to wait, you know, you guys can wait until whatever you guys want to wait. The account will be there. The $1,000 will be waiting for whoever it is that wants to use it. Once you guys do tell me which stocks to buy, I'll buy it and I'll start giving you guys update on that account. The goal is for you guys to learn first and foremost. Second is to have fun. And third is to make some money. All right. So that's the goal. Let's see if we can execute on that. That's it for this video. Hopefully it's not too long. I haven't checked yet. But yeah, I'll catch you guys Monday on the next update. Peace.